Anybody who's been a passenger on EasyJet over the past few weeks at London Gatwick Airport, its busiest hub, will know that there have been massive problems with hundreds of cancellations at the last minute. Just an example, people who were waiting last night at Gatwick to fly to Belfast, the flight got later and later. Eventually it was cancelled and they were just told, find a hotel and try again tomorrow. And it's been a story which has been recurrent through the past couple of months, and EasyJet now, facing the main school summer holidays in England and Wales, is now actually deciding they are going to cut an average of about 20 flights a day in the hope of creating some resilience so that when the air traffic control problems that they say are much worse than they were before the pandemic hit, they will be able to deal with it.
We've got lots of questions here from viewers, but just before that, what do you think of their reasoning that there's restricted airspace partly due to the war in Ukraine? Well,
the argument they're making is that they are in a tougher position than any other airline because they're using the busiest runway in the world, London Gatwick, and they have got half the flights there. And as soon as things start going wrong, delays build up very quickly. Yes, there is a bit of extra pressure on holiday flights to Greece and to Turkey because so many other flights, long haul particularly, are having to avoid Russian and Ukrainian airspace. But there are critics who say that there is simply not enough resilience in the operation.
OK, so...
Sorry, Simon. Really quickly. Will people get their money back? Will they lose their flights?
Well, and that is where European air passenger rights rules really kick in. The rule is absolutely specific. The 180,000 people whose flights have been cancelled are entitled to be flown on the same day as they were originally. Now, I understand 18,000 have been rebooked on EasyJet flights the day before or the day after, and they can go back to the airline and say, that's not good enough, I need to be flown on the original day, even if that means you buying a flight on another airline. That's what the law says. Yes, you can have a refund, but at this stage in the summer, everybody, more or less, is going to want to travel.
Exactly. Sorry, Simon B. Go ahead.
Absolutely right. No, I agree completely with what Simon just said. Right, so some quick-fire Q&A here. Harry and Coleraine, will EasyJet be required to recommend alternative flights with other airlines?
It certainly will do. If it can't get you where you need to be on the day you're supposed to go there, it has to buy you a ticket on another airline.
Joan in Manchester, if your EasyJet flight is cancelled the night before you're due to fly due to industrial action, are you entitled to any compensation or... anything at all?
No, cash compensation won't be forthcoming unless you are booked in the next 2 weeks and you've had your flight cancelled and they can't get you an alternative which gets there within a couple of hours of the original. But otherwise, they will not be paying compensation, specifically not for industrial relations or indeed storms.
Sharon in Gidea Park, at the beginning of June, they ruined my daughter's holiday. They cancelled the flight going out from Gatwick and then again cancelled coming home from Greece. So what comeback does she have?
Well, it all depends. If they were blaming weather, if they were blaming strikes, if they were blaming air traffic control, they will decline compensation. But it is down to the airline actually to provide proof. They can't just say air traffic control. They've actually got, if you ask, they've got to give you specific explanation of what happened and why your flight didn't take off.
Keith says, my son flies to Cyprus on Thursday for a week. His EasyJet flight home has been put back 24 hours and now it's landing in Luton, not Gatwick. Who's responsible for the extra hotel cost? Should he talk to the travel agent or...
No, it's absolutely definitely EasyJet to have to pay for that extra money, but to fly him to the wrong airport on the wrong day, no, they have to fly him back on the same day if that's what he wants. Otherwise, they're going to be paying the extra night in the hotel.
So hopefully it's saying, EasyJet is saying 95% of passengers they're hoping to rebook. Do you think that's likely? At least get them on holiday?
I mean, what they're trying to do is just avoid having to book on other airlines, and for 160,000 or so, they have managed to do that, but there are a few more who are booked on the wrong day, like Keith just now, or who haven't got flights booked at all, in which case they will be now addressing other airlines, and EasyJet has to pick up the bill. It's going to be an extremely expensive business for them.